I was extremely sick. I was born extremely sick. I had been told that I may not be able to survive. And then when I was 3 years old, that I remember, I started to paint because I needed to express how I felt. I needed to dream about a day when I would be better.
I think Madalina has such strong memories of her home country, of her childhood, which is very different. It's a place. Romania looks very different than the United States. And so she's recovering aspects of her own different past through the act of painting. But more important, and this is why with Madalina Nicola's work, it's important to know the element of sickness and suffering and pain that she went through, because it was by recovering past sensations and memories of health and of happiness, and she recovered those feelings through the painting act, that she came through to health.
She started to paint when her pain started to subside a little, and she confessed to me that she pushed herself. She wanted to do it for me. She knew how much I loved her painting. She knew how much I loved seeing her having a purpose in life.
I was exposed during my 7 years with the Detroit Institute of Arts to an encyclopedic museum of every of the best artists that exist in the world. And you learn throughout that experience to see different qualities, especially in the modern art of the contemporary period that we're dealing with these days. I find some of the things that I enjoy about her artwork is the depth of the colors. I'm very passionate with the heavy, bright, and the very solid reds, the very solid blues, and how each variation of the color comes through and really pops the painting so that it comes quite alive. I find in the gold paintings, the more abstract ones, that it's just sort of alive. The painting is alive, and the use of the real, I think it's 24 karat gold or whatever the final touch is that goes on top, just pops it. So especially when it's in a room that's lit, it catches your eye immediately. Your eye is totally drawn to the painting because of the brilliance of the color, but also the techniques that's used.
Knowing Madalina, who is such a calm person, she's a very peaceful person. She always makes me feel more centered when I talk to her. She helps me eliminate the chaos that we live in because she is such a centered person. She's very focused and she's very calm. A piece like this, though, when you first look at it, seems to be contrary to her personality. It's an explosion of color. It's absolutely the gradation of autumnal tones of oranges and bronzes and blacks, and right down into the greens and the moss colors. It's just there's something, it's passionate, and it's just a force of emotion.
I would absolutely qualify her as an accomplished artist. It's interesting, having known her for the past couple of years, the ability to see the interest by different gallery owners and others throughout the United States certainly attests to the quality of the artistic presentation, and attests to the timeliness of the type of work that she does that appeals to people throughout the nation. That's why the shows that she's had in Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., and Florida will certainly maintain her on the forefront of the current artists of today.
She was called anything from an avant-garde type of a painter, which is a trendsetter, which is great, which is absolutely great. Her paintings were called to have a Turneresque radiance, which is again great.